If we're looking at resiliency, bouncing back after tough times, a tennis ball is maybe our best analogy to use for resiliency. Can I toss this to somebody in class? Teresa, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready this time.
Great. Good. Now, can you toss that to somebody else in class without dropping it on the ground? Who are you going to?
Mark.
Mark, all right. Good. Now, Mark, can we get this to go around the room without hitting the ground? Can it get to everybody and back to me without hitting the ground? Do you think we can do this on the first try?
I think you
can. Let's find out.
Short passes.
Short. You gotta go short.
Sam, that happens.
Short passes. Go around. Short passes. There we go. There we go.
Can we just walk?
There we go. There we go. Yeah.
Did everyone on that side get it?
Yeah.
You running already got it.
I'll get last. Uno más.
I almost dropped it.
Uh-oh.
Whoa. Nice job, guys.
Are you proud of that one?
Yeah.
Really? Now notice, I gave you the challenge. Hey, can we make it around the room? Can we get it to everybody without hitting the ground? Do you think we can do this in the first try? And so you started to talk to each other. Yes, short passes, short passes. Some of them over here, did you see them? It was just a handoff. Two hands. Without risk, there's not that much reward. We made it around the room. Wasn't that exciting when we finally got it to Anuj and then to me. Yay! With no great risk, there's no great reward. Now, I'm not telling you that you need to fire this across the room every single time in crisscross, but are you willing to take a couple extra risks besides just the hey? Teresa, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Where are you going this time?
Jacob.
Short passes.
Sorry.
Jacob. Oh, that's me. Hey. No. David. Oh, Kobe.
Guys, watch the. That's good.
I'm sure.
Do that.
Oh, my God.
Pick it up, back to me. Well, I gave you the next challenge. Hey, with no great risk, there's no great reward. Now we're starting to be a little bit sloppy, huh? A little bit cavalier with things. Just fired it over. What would help?
Communicate.
Okay, how are we going to do that?
You can say the person's name.
Say their name? This is good. Now, socially, if we say somebody's name, we give them value. We tell them they matter. And oftentimes, teenagers are going through their day-to-day and not using people's names that they've seen for weeks or months or possibly years. In classes before, I've had some people say, I don't know that person's name. And that person said, I've been in school with you since like 5th grade. Now listen to how that has an impact on somebody's mental health.
That's so good.
I don't know you, I don't know your name, but they've been there. People feel like they're alone when we do stuff like that. I don't even know your name. That's where people feel withdrawn. The social connected piece to health and mental health is huge. And that's simply using a person's name. Verifying they exist and they matter. I think it's a good idea. Teresa.
David.
Ryland. Sharon.
Mark. Ayush.
Oh,
She said the water bottle.
Did it hit the ground? Okay. What are you noticing if the ball hits the ground?
We start over.
What are you literally noticing? It bounces. The tennis ball is resilient. Tennis ball is like, you dropped me. But it's bouncing. It's just waiting. Somebody pick it up. We don't want to let it settle at the bottom. If it bounces, pick it up. We'll start over. We just don't want it to go at the... Do you remember who you threw to? Do you remember our order? We can do this. Can we make it around the room?
Yeah.
Teresa.
David. Oh no, sorry.
Violet.
Guys, let's mix it up a little bit.
No, he said we have to start off the same.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. Didn't hear that.
Weston. John.
Tessa. Alright, come on.
Megan.
This is a tough spot. That's okay. Do you give up?
No.
All right, good.
That's a bad.
That's our tough spot. Ready? Teresa.
David.
Oh, nice.
She's a
Mark, and it's like, what I did.
Weston.
Tessa.
Esther.
Wait,
Okay.
Esther, go to Megan there.
Betsy.
Valerie.
You know they haven't had it yet because their hands are up.
You got this, Tiffany.
Give up.
No.
Okay, Teresa.
Do we go to the same table?
Sure, it makes it easy now, doesn't it?
David.
Violet.
Mark, you good?
Weston.
Esther. Betsy.
Valerie.
Tiffany.
Nice.
Jada.
Wait, did we get Esther?
I got it.
Okay. Jacob.
Oh.
Daniel. Yes.
Ooh.
Nice.
Wait, Daniel, go over there.
Look around.
Go to
Hands
Megan.
are up.
No,
Yeah.
Go to Megan.
What do you mean, no? Guys, put your hands up. Guys, put your hands up.
Hey.
Wait, what's it on? Wait. Grown ups. Who's that?
Go to. Hey.
Oh, you say their name? Go, we need to sign it.
It's Sonia showed.
Just
Say
say
Keisha. Make it Keisha. Come on.
Was that going to be it?
No.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah.
We're one of. Should we?
We're not
Does
giving
it
up.
count?
Yeah.
We're bouncing back. Yeah. We're not settling at the
Okay.
bottom.
All right. Let's do this. Teresa.
What if we all roll up in balls and just like roll into each other like the ball?
We're not giving up, right?
No.
Teresa.
David.
Oh.
Violet.
Mark.
Names.
Weston.
Why are these guys just gonna hit me in the head? Tessa.
Esther.
Slogan. Thailand.
Oh. Let's see.
Valerie. Libby.
Tiffany.
Jada.
I know, I'm like.
Jacob.
Wake up, girl.
Daniel. Wait, was that Brendan?
Oh, David.
So people do this on their first try, and then there's us. Oh, one hand?
It's safe for your use because you just have anything in front of it.
One thing. No, but there's one question.
Violet. 79.
Betsy. Mallory.
It's like
We're automatic.
Another close call.
I know it's like 200 guys back. 70. If I tried that. Kabiki.
Easy, not that.
I'm like really good. Guys, go slow. Go slow.
Like duck down.
Give it to Keisha.
I feel like
Go slow.
Now, wasn't that more exciting than the first time where we were handing it up? Yeah? More exciting.
Living life on the edge.
Right. So, if I give this back to Teresa, and we keep going for today, the tennis ball being resilient, could you pop the tennis ball? If I ask you to pop it.
You could like
To take the air out of the tennis ball, could you do it?
You can make it turn into a smiling.
Who did you throw to?
David?
All right, give it to David. David, could you pop it? Who did you throw to?
Together we could all.
Do you think Riley could get it?
No one can.
But maybe all of us together, and then it'll like die.
All right, so we've got some people in my past that are like, I could get it, and they take it, and they're like, with one hand.
Let me try.
I was like, do you think that the tennis ball's gonna pop with one?
So hard.
People hit it.
We hit it with a tennis racket over 100 miles per hour, right? And then somebody goes, 2 hands, dude, 2 hands. Bro. And he's like, oh, 2 hands. Are we gonna get the tennis ball to pop? Well, what do we need?
A compressor.
Something sharp. Well done.
I got it!
Oh my god.
I got it!
Ayush wants to use his pencil.
Write the pencil.
You got a pen?
I have scissors. Oh yeah.
Oh, you have your compass.
Do you have a knife?
Right here, compass.
All right.
This is more confusing.
Let Mark do it.
A compass shot.
I love
So,
Mark.
where's my volunteer?
Mark.
Mark, come on up.
Bro, Mark.
Oh my god, yeah.
Good. Do you need a desk? No?
No.
Okay, he's taking the scissors. Show everybody.
I think that's.
Here's the tennis ball.
Mark.
Wait, stop.
Mark, cut it. Cut it, Mark.
Let's just quickly, you can sit here in the back one if you want. Let's just quickly review what was going on here. First, he's taking, are you lefty? Okay, so he opens up the scissors, right? And I've had people try and cut the tennis ball with open scissors. What's it gonna do? Nothing. It's gonna slide away. The tennis ball's like, I'm out of here. You're trying to, I'm out of here. Tennis ball is resilient. It just slips away. So Mark's like, no, I'm going to grab the scissors. He goes, you can see the wheels turning, right? I don't know if this is that good of an idea. He's like, I think I will use the desk. Now, let's say we do put it on the desk and we go for a big stab motion like Mark wanted to. Is the tennis ball going to pop then too? Is it still? It's going to still be resilient. It might if I get it perfect, but otherwise, if I'm just a little off center, it's off. It's going to slip. It's out of here.
Stab yourself.
No, use one and
Now,
one.
meanwhile, we have people in the past that have said, I just need to keep it from moving. And they turn to people nearby. Dude, hold this. And people will be like, oh, okay. We've had like 3 people. I'll hold this side, you hold that side. And we got this person raising the scissors. Good thing I'm close by and I grab their arm. I'm like, stop! What could happen if we're trying to harm the tennis ball? This is pretty obvious. You're going to harm yourself. Or somebody else. More likely yourself. I had a boy one time, not too long ago, think that the desk was slippery, so he put it into his lap. He's like, I gotta keep it from slipping away. Put it into his legs. Raises his arm. Good thing I was nearby. I grabbed his arms. No! No! And I made the best, maybe the best health teacher joke I could make. I said, we are trying to pop the tennis ball. The tennis ball. People nearby are like, oh. All right. Yeah, good. Took a while. Now, how come Mark was trying to pop the tennis ball?
Because he was told to.
Because I told him to.
Oh, it's not for other people.
Not very good.
I'm totally getting the.
I asked who can pop the tennis. Mark was like, I'll do it. Because I told him to. Socially, we've got a lot of things throughout our history where people did something just because somebody else told them to. We've even had people in a leadership position, in an authority position, tell others what to do, and they've done it because they were just following orders. They were following what they were told to do. If I know where to push on this tennis ball, I know the weak points. I can get it. I don't even have to push that hard. Should I?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, you got it.
What the heck?
Make a smiley face.
Wait, Mr.
You know
Todd,
how like you can do
cut
it
around
like,
the ring of the ring of the tennis ball, and then you'll have two.
Now,
halves.
why didn't somebody say, Mr. Tottenham, don't pop the tennis ball, it's brand new.
Because we trusted you.
So we built up this trust.
Because you're a health teacher, and
Right.
you just
Because you're
do
older
what you
than
say.
us.
Yeah.
Also, people wanted to see me pop it. Do it. Do it. Pop it.
Loaded.
Go, do it, I dare you. Last period, somebody was like, you're not going to do it. Prove you will. This is how online people talk to each other a lot. Almost daily. Do it, I dare you. In fact, we have horrible things being said online. Kill yourself. You won't do it. Do it. Kill yourself. Go ahead. Do it. This is how people talk. This is how teenagers oftentimes talk to each other. Go. Do it. Now, I've got a hole. It's marked forever. And the tennis ball has been modified. It's changed just because of me. Even though it's resilient, I was able to get in there and I was able to pop the tennis ball. Will it bounce back?
Yeah. Maybe not as high.
Of course it's going to bounce back.
Oh, never. I didn't.
It's resilient.
Unless you made
It's marked forever. Some of you can't even see it from where you are. But the damage has been done. It's still proving resiliency, even though it has been marked and we've popped it, really. Now, if I want to tear it apart, I could tear it apart. I won't do that. I'm not going to tear it apart. It stands to be a good analogy for humans, just like it is. Now, there's other items that bounce back. Like, instead of a tennis ball, we could use a table tennis ball. A ping pong ball.
That's like
The ping pong ball bounces back. It's resilient. Does it bounce back off the carpet?
No.
Why would you doubt this ping pong ball?
it's resilient.
Can we cut it?
People over here talking science. Because the carpet absorbs energy. If I put enough force on it, it's bouncing back. The ping pong ball is resilient in its own way. Haters gonna hate. They're like, it's not gonna bounce. It bounces just fine.
Gravity.
Now, is it as resilient as a tennis ball, though?
No.
If I give it to Teresa or David, or who else do I have that's willing? Tylen? No? Could we pop it?
You can bend it, but you can't pop it.
Go, Mark.
Yeah, I popped it before.
Oh, do it, Mark. Do it. Mark, do it.
That's gonna hurt. Mark, do it.
Mark, stomp on it.
Yeah, you have to stop on it. You can't use your hands. Now take your phone and snap.
All right. Nice job. That's a nice throw. It is. Jeez. It is dented. It has been dented. Will it bounce?
Oh, yeah.
The ping pong ball is also resilient. Now, it's not as tough as the tennis ball, though. If we want to keep going, we can keep going, right? Could we really tear this apart? Should we?
What? Mr. Tottenham.
You said yeah.
What did he say?
You need scissors.
Weak. Can I sit on it?
I use your weak. Come on.
You're weak.
I used to stepped on it. Will it still?
Yeah,
He's gonna tear it apart now that it's down.
Oh, it's in your leg.
I mean,
So,
Are you jealous? Do you want to do
who's
that?
up for going to play ping pong?
We can all go to my house. I have ping pong tables.
I've had people jump in front of the class. I've had people like, let me get a chance. Let me go, my turn. And they stepped on it and stomped it while it's down. Now notice all the metaphors today. Everybody else is staying there. Some people were like, no, don't do it. You weren't loud enough. Our upstanders weren't silencing the bystanders, or worse, the people that were saying, go ahead, pop it. I'll do it. I can get it.
Peer pressure.
Mr. Tottenham told me to, so therefore I will do it. Just an activity in health class. Or worse, we say stuff like, well, the ping pong ball was weak, so it had it coming. You didn't step up and stop somebody from stomping on the ping pong ball because you wanted to see it happen as a bystander. Notice all these metaphors and analogies today. Well, if we're talking to people like that, they were weak anyway. You should have just been tough. Deal with it. Or something like, be a man. Right? Okay, we've got people like that in life. These are our bowling balls in life.
Bounce it. Bounce it off the table.
I'm scared for you.
Is it real? Yes.
oh my gosh, where did you?
Can I bowl? Can I bowl into the
How
wall?
much do you think that weighs?
We can launch it.
9 pounds.
10?
I was gonna say we can launch it.
9.
How much do you suppose? 9 pounds?
Yeah.
15.
A little bit more than that, isn't it?
20.
No, this is more than that.
Yeah, it is, right? People are
that
like, it's
from-
rubber. It's a real bowling ball.
Is that from your CrossFit place?
That's a bowling ball.
Hey, you could get creative and wait.
Get creative. So more than 10?
You could just
Yeah, maybe 15. All right, so if we got this bowling ball, maybe it's 15 pounds. Does it bounce? Maybe a little bit. My young scientist. A little bit. Like the tennis ball? No.
Oh, but sometimes you throw
Now, in the meantime,
you know when you like accidentally that way.
is it resilient?
Like,
Yeah,
And then like the whole
Now, our bowling ball is maybe not as great of an example as the tennis ball for resiliency, right? If I go and I throw this into the air and I let that come back down to earth, well, what goes up must come down, at least for now. Is it going to do some damage? Yep. I don't know what's under the carpet. Maybe tile? Maybe concrete? It's going to do some damage. Quite possibly, if I throw it high enough and I've got another hard surface, I could possibly break this bowling ball.
no, there would be.
And then it really is not bouncing.
No, it would go through a hole.
Yeah.
It would make
Can
a
I
hole.
try to crack?
I've been waiting to do this since your 6th grade year, haven't I?
Oh my gosh. I thought you were gonna do it. Oh no, oh no.
Do it!
No, don't do
I've been waiting. Now, we got some people that are like, go do this! Who's ready?
No.
Who's ready?
It's gonna hurt the boy.
Great. Okay. I'm ready to. Tyler, you ready? Me too. All right, let me get out of the way a little bit. But you stay there because you were ready. Okay. 1. Stay right there.
Tyler, you better get ready to catch it!
Notice when it's involving you, you're not quite so quick to say
There's no one
do.
under there.
Everybody else was like, go for it. Hit Tyler. Well, I'm coming to you next, right? Everybody's like, go, do it, do it.
No, he would not do it into the light.
Oh, it just got real. Did you see him?
He said, do it, and then
It just got real. Do it. I bet you won't. Oh, I did. And he started to freak out. No, that wasn't a freak out, he said.
Do it over bars. I'm an instigator. Do it over bars.
And he goes, that wasn't a freak out, but this is what I watched. Yeah. It was a good, solid flinch. Now, I want to keep my job. I like what I do, so I will not be tossing this up and letting it come back down to earth. If I did hit the ceiling tile, it's going to break the ceiling tile. Yes. If it came down close to you, did it hurt? Yes. The bowling ball, a person through life like a bowling ball, coming through life like a bowling ball, is maybe resilient in their own way, but people nearby don't really want to be around with that destructive kind of behavior. Plus, if it does hit the ground, and I put a dent through that, I don't know, tile or concrete underneath, could you see it? Through the carpet? No, but it would still be there. You might not be able to see it, but the damage is done. Just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not there. Now we've got other types of implements we could use, and I can keep going on this for a while. I've got a squish ball. It looks really cool. Right? We've got people going through life like this squish ball. Hey, what do you want to do today? Oh, I don't care. Oh, I don't mind. Whatever.
Wait, are they the ones
Hey, you should go. Oh, you should go date him or her. Ask them out. Oh, sure. Do you think so? What should I wear? Totally malleable. It's manipulated by everybody else. Does it bounce back? No. Looks cool, but not resilient. Looks good, though. Not resilient. Now, I'm not going to keep going. My point has been made, at least so far. I need you to turn and talk and process. Personify each of these different types of balls. How would a bowling ball look apt in a social setting? How would a ping pong ball matter, and personify that with a real person? The squish ball. What about the tennis ball? Turn and talk. How is that like real people?